Alright, so today we're here to talk about AR Apparel. Uh, Online shopping made easy. Alright, so here's our team. First we have Grant Quartz. He's our UI design and development guy, and he's going to be doing a little bit of the AR software engineering as well. We have Tyler Tran. He's our texture mapping architect. He'll be handling a lot of the fabrics and the way that behaves inside of our app. We have Andrew Beckwith. He's going to be our project organizer, manager, making sure everyone's staying on task and completing what needs to be done. We have Chris Shaw. He's our AR library and software engineer. So he's responsible for figuring out how all the AR stuff is going to work and how we're going to incorporate some of these libraries into our application. And then our faculty advisor, Professor Hahn. Okay, so I'm going to hand it over to Tyler Tran for what is AR Apparel.
Alright, so AR Apparel is basically an application aimed to make online shopping easier. It basically brings to the customer a way of figuring out what size clothing they would wear for a respective company and what it would look like on them. We'll do that to our best ability and give them kind of like a percentage, like we believe you're medium with this much correctness with it. And we basically decided to do this because we've all online shopped before and we've all had that problem of ordering a product, it's coming to your house and it's either A, too short or too big. And with this application, we would eliminate that.
So as everyone else has said, we'll be using an app to display textures on the user's body. We've been doing this using an Android device so that we can utilize the AR core library using the inertial measurement unit in the device to create spatial mapping of the room. We'll be developing within Unity using the Euphoria software development kit. And using all of this, we'll be able to display a live camera feed where clothing can be displayed in accurate sizing on the body.
Here we have our first diagram, which lays out the high-level view of our inputs and outputs of our project. From the left to right, you can see that we have a camera input that's capturing our end user. With that input, we'll then send the frames to our system. Our system will calculate the key points of our user in order to put clothing on them by using computer vision and other algorithm techniques. After that, it will send the output to the screen in order to show the user their size and what the clothing will look like on them. Next, we have our second diagram. This diagram is basically a deeper dive into what our system will handle from the input of the camera. As you see at the top, it will use computer vision to handle finding the key points on the human body. So what that basically means is it will track the key points that we need to find, like both shoulders, midpoint of the chest, and lower part of the torso. Next, it will use algorithms to determine the recommended size for clothing based off a brand. After that, it will project the clothing onto the end user using those key points so they can move around a little bit, and so we see it in movement. Next, we have our last design diagram, which is a little bit more deeper dive into the inputs and outputs of our project. Here, we see that we still keep the same idea with the computer vision and the algorithms that will determine the clothing size, but now we will talk a little bit more about how the system will find these key points and then perform texture mapping and rendering of the clothing onto the end user. With this information, we will output it to our application on the computer, which will show the end user what the clothing on it and also give them an opportunity to select different styles of clothing that they can see on their body.
To better illustrate the value that our solution would bring to people's lives, we've come up with some user stories to show the benefits that it could bring to people from the perspectives of specific roles. As an online shopper, I want to view the fit of my clothes before I have them shipped all the way to my house. So just about anybody who's done some online shopping has had the experience of choosing a predetermined size for a piece of clothing, having that shipped to their house, and having their expectations proven wrong, which our solution would help to prevent. As an online shopper, I want to see what my clothes look like on me personally, not what they look like on some random, ridiculously good-looking model. So our solution will be able to help shoppers determine if their clothing fits not only their body, but also their personal style. As a retailer, I want my customers to have a better look at clothes before having to purchase online. Customer satisfaction is paramount in the retail industry, so the less customers that are dissatisfied by the fit and style of their clothes, the better. As a person with a disability, I want to be able to look at clothes on myself without having to physically put them on. Some people may have a disability that makes it hard for them to try on clothes. So our solution could be able to help them take part in the simple pleasures of doing online and in-person shopping.
Okay, so to wrap things up, we're going to talk about the current status of our project and the accomplishments we've made so far. We realized when we started this that we actually have most of the things that we need already. So we just focused on finding some devices, software libraries, and development platforms. So for example, devices, we had to view whether this is something we just wanted to run on a mobile device like a phone, or is this something that we might run from like a desktop webcam. For software libraries, we looked into things like, are there existing fabric physics out there, like fabric physics libraries that we can use to simulate actual like cloth and t-shirt movement in real time? Or is there like different textures so we can simulate maybe like a cotton t-shirt versus a polyester blend or something. The last piece here, development platforms and AR libraries. Development platform, we simply just chose Unity. And by AR libraries, we're referring to, there's many of these out there, such as Vuforia, Wikitude, Kudan is very popular as well. So just determining which one of these would best suit our needs. And then our only other real major accomplishment was just dividing up our tasks, our roles, our responsibilities, and delegating out, who should do what in our timeline. And that's it.